This is Time Warner Cable's local edition. I'm Brad Pomerance, and we are joined by Nury Martinez. She is a member of the Los Angeles City Council. And in 2013, you remember the voters passed Prop D, which allowed 135 medical marijuana clinics to remain open. They had been permitted, they could remain open.
Right.
I walk around the city, I think there's more than 135.
Oh, absolutely. There's well over 1,000
Really?
Marijuana dispensaries. So the difference is that the voters did grandfather in
Right.
135 maximum throughout the city of Los Angeles. In communities like in my district, like Van Nuys, Panorama City, and Arleta, Sun Valley, you have an overwhelming number of illegal dispensaries that are operating.
Why is it so difficult to shut them down?
Well, the issue is that, first of all, I introduced a motion a couple of weeks ago to ask the Department of Finance to stop issuing the BTRCs. And the BTRCs are essentially a piece of paper that allows the city to collect taxes on business. Yeah, but it's not a license to operate. And so a lot of these dispensaries are using that as a way to be able to lease space and open up a marijuana dispensary, which is not right. And we shouldn't be collecting taxes on a business that is illegal. So we stopped. I mean, I issued a motion. It was passed unanimously, and so the Department of Finance has stopped issuing these BTRCs. But the issue is that everyone has you have to give people due process, and the city attorney's office has done an amazing job working with my office to not only issue the notices but do the due diligence to be able to shut them down. They're very, very astute. And the thing that's working really well is that the city attorney's office has issued letters to the actual landlord and say, by the way, you cannot lease space to this operator because they're not Prop D compliant, which is very helpful.
At the same time, 135 in a city as large as ours is not a huge number. And so I think about your district, for example, in the San Fernando Valley. Are there enough in your area for those that want to access marijuana legitimately for medical purposes?
Right, and so if this is an issue of access, because people obviously need it for medical purposes, then the 135 should be distributed throughout the city.
Are they?
They're not.
They're not.
And so, for example, in Van Nuys, I had almost 60 dispensaries in one community up and down Sherman Way, Van Nuys, Van Owen. Again, if this is an issue of access, then communities like the communities I represent in Council District 6 shouldn't have to bear the overwhelming amount of these dispensaries. That's not fair.
What about the 135? Are those well distributed?
Well, we're currently asking LAPD and the city attorney's office to geographically map the 135 and really figure out where they're at. Are they disproportionately in communities of color because the rent tends to be cheaper?
Right.
Again, if it's about access, and it needs to be distributed equitably throughout the city.
At the same time, it's hard to deny that views on marijuana are shifting.
Right.
And we know in some states, the reddest of red states, are legalizing marijuana or passing medical marijuana laws. Is it time for our city to reevaluate the entire question?
Well, to me, it's about blight, and it's about bringing a different type of businesses into my district. I deal with issues of illegal marijuana dispensaries every single day. Do we really need 6 of them in
6 blocks,
6 blocks from each other? No, we don't. And so that's a question that, again, has to be something that voters have to ask themselves. But again, if it's about cleaning up neighborhoods and improving the quality of life for Council District 6, that's my priority, and I cannot see how a community like Van Nuys can have 60 dispensaries. It doesn't make any sense.
So are we heading in the right direction? Is the city attorney making progress?
Oh, absolutely. He's been great to work with.
Mike Fuhr.
Mike Fuhr is a dear friend, and he's got a great team. Last year in the budget, we allocated more resources to try to shut these illegal dispensaries down.
Her name is Nury Martinez. She is a member of the Los Angeles City Council. My name is Brad Pomerance. You're watching Time Warner Cable's local edition.